Triangles. Today we're on page 8 of our packet. Page 8. Alright, so the sum of triangles of any triangle is always, so the sum, what does sum mean? Addition. So when I add all the angles of any triangle, was it always 180? Okay, not 90, 180. Okay, so if I have 60, 70, and x, I want to solve for x. The long way to do it is 60 plus 70 plus x has to equal 180. Okay, so the three angles, let's say I have angle A, B, and C. When I add A plus B plus C, it has to equal 180. It's a pretty easy concept to understand. The math is pretty simple. It will get harder. Maybe not today. Okay, what's 60 plus 70? 130 plus x equals 180. Now at this point, many of us can do mental math. 130 plus what number gives you 180? 50. So you know it's 50. Now if you don't know, you're like, where'd you get 50 from? What we would do is subtract 130 from both sides, and you get x equals 50. That make sense? All right, number 2. What do I do? 55 plus 90. Where do we get the 90 from? The little box, right? That little box around the world, no matter where, you will see this and it will equal 90 degrees. Did you check? Did you double check? Did you triple check? Did you like dig and go and dig some more? Alright, so what's 55 plus 90? 145. And then we subtract. What do we get? X equals 35? Okay. We okay? Pretty easy, right? The math is pretty easy. It's another review of how to solve equations. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the rest. I'll check in with you in a couple of minutes. Pause on this. So we solved for x. Yay, everyone's happy. What they want us to do on page 9 at the bottom, complete the table below and name each triangle above by selecting a word that describes its sides and a word that describes its angles. So scalene, without looking back, let's see. Your choices are scalene, isosceles, equilateral. Okay. Which one do we know right off the bat? Equilateral. What does equilateral mean based on the sides?
All equal sides.
All equal. It's in the word. It's in the name. Equilateral. All equal sides. All right. So now the tricky one is isosceles and scalene. Now some of you already have it memorized. Fantastic. But these are the tricky ones. Isosceles, scalene. Which one is no sides and which one is two sides? Yes. So remember the trick I showed you, or the eye. The eye has this one and this one are the two. They're supposed to be the same size, right? On the eye. This one and this one are the same size, and then this one's supposed to be different, right? So like a triangle. Isosceles, the one that starts with an I, has two equal sides. So two equal sides. The I, when you write it properly, the top line and the bottom line are the same size, Jesus. So I like to associate the I in isosceles as having two sides that are equal. Nice, Jesus, yes? Yes, we're good? Yeah, totally, huh? What's scalene? No sides are equal. So you might get a question, they'll give you a triangle, and you got to name it. So you have to memorize these vocabulary words. Remember in your homework, you got that name the triangle and it had a bunch of boxes, and like half of you didn't know what to do with them? That's how you might get it, where you put a check on the ones that are true based on the triangle. Okay, acute in a triangle. How many angles have to be acute to make it an acute triangle? 1, 2, or 3? 3. 3 angles are acute. All of them. All of them. Not 1, not 2, not 3. Okay, what about obtuse? How many angles have to be obtuse? 1 obtuse angle. You guys all remember this, right? Whew. What's a right? How many right? 1. Okay, we're good? So, vocabulary words that you have to know as a 7th grader. All right, look back on triangle number 1. Look back on triangle number 1. Look at the angles first. What was this one? 60, 70, and this one's 50. 60, 70, 50. Any right? No. Any obtuse? No. So what do we call it? So this would be acute. Now, are any of the angles equal to each other? So are any of the sides equal to each other? No. If the angles are not equal, then the sides are not equal. Yes?
Are you sure this isn't meant to page 7? Because it has up to 8, but page 8 only has up to 6.
Okay, number 2. Look at the angles first. 55, 90, and then this one's 35. Any right? Yeah. See how there's one right? Guess what? This whole thing is called a right. Are any of the angles equal to each other? No. So if none of the angles are equal to each other, then the sides are not equal, so we have another scalene. Do you guys see the connection between angles and sides? Okay, number 3. So this one's 50, 65, 65, right? Any 90s? No. Any obtuse? No. So what do we call it? It's acute. Any of the angles equal? How many? 2. So if 2 angles are equal, that means that there are 2 sides that are equal. So it's called isosceles. These two would be equal, and this would be different. So these 2 would be equal, and this would be different. Oops, I see that. These 2 sides are equal. These are different. All right, number 4, I should say. What do we call it based on the angles? Obtuse. What do we call it based on the sides? Number 5, what do we call it? You have a 90-degree angle, so everything is a right. And then these 2 are equal, so that means that these 2 sides are equal, and this one's different, so it's an isosceles. Okay, number 6, my favorite. What do we call it? Acute equilateral. Equilateral, there's only one choice, acute. For a right, you can have a right isosceles or right scalene. Scalene, everything's possible. But for equilateral, there's only one choice, acute. They're always together. Okay? We're going to skip 7 and 8. You can do it if you want to. I don't want to. So we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. All right, let's look at page 10. This is a great review of a little bit of everything. All right. Find the measure of every angle without using a protractor. So this kind of goes into everything we've learned. Except there's 2 things missing. This and this is missing. So these 2 things are missing. Are they important? Yeah. So these 2 little things are missing, so add that to this one and that to this one. on page 10. Okay, how are we going to solve for this missing angle? Let's call it x because that's my favorite. What do we know about this?
It equals 180.
It equals 180. How do I know it equals 180? Because it's a straight line, right? So 65 plus x equals 180. $115? All right. What about this one? How am I gonna find the missing angle? Let's call it x again because it's my favorite. How am I gonna solve for x on this one?
72 plus x equals 90.
This altogether has to equal 90. So x plus 72 or 72 plus x has to equal 90 because this box tells me 90. Notice this one's a straight line, 180. This one's the corner of your paper. This is 90. We're using this all to review for our SBAC that's coming back in like a couple days. So all of this information you should know. Yesterday we reviewed volume. What is x equal to? 18. We're okay? All right, x and y. X and y. What is x equal to?
113.
This one is 113. Why? Because they're vertical angles, and vertical angles are equal to each other. So if this is 113, then this is 113. If this is y, what is this variable?
Y.
So these two are equal to each other. If this is y, then this is y. This is y, this is y. All right, what is y equal to? What is it? 67? Yeah. Thanks. So this is 67, right? This should not be new to us. All right. Oh, I got triangles. All right, cool. All right, let's finish up. You guys can do the rest. Finish up.
There's a worksheet I had.
You're finishing up this worksheet while I find the next one I want to give you.
Can you count just 4? Do you need an extra one?
It's hard to count paper, huh? It's stuck. I know what I go through every day. Why we should never yell at a teacher for miscounting how many paper. All right, what do we get for this triangle over here, 95 and 60? What's the missing angle?
25 degrees.
25? Okay, what's the missing angle on this triangle?
51.
51? Do you guys agree with 51? You got 41? Do we agree with 41? 41? This missing angle on the 49? What do we get for this one? 41? Do we agree? This one? 22? Do we agree with 22? Ah, 22. And this one would be 26 on this side, and then what would this angle be?
152 degrees.
152?
154.
154? what is it?
154.
154?
Yes.
154. Yes? Yeah? Okay. You tell me. Alright. Complementary, add up to what?
Add up to
90. Supplementary, add up to 180. Angles in a triangle, add up to 180. Vertical angles? Huh? Yes, and they are the same. They're equal. Equal angles. They're opposite from each other. Okay? So vertical angles are angles that are equal. They're opposite. So you should... There's a lot of information in these last 10 minutes of review that we went over. We did spend a lot of time on this, and they appear sometimes on your homework. Here and there. All right. Do you remember a million years ago,
we learned about negatives.
number 7, that you couldn't meet it? Remember that?
Yeah.
That was a great day. That was a great day. You guys all suffered through it. A lot of erasing, a lot of going back and forth. I just love it. I love it. It's one of my favorite days. Fun times, fun times. That's not seeing you suffer, you know? It's part of my job. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just remembering that day. Okay, people in the front, can you pass back the worksheet? We're going to go over why this triangle didn't work back in March. If you want to do page 11 and 12, by all means, go for it. It's like a puzzle. Maybe I'll assign it for homework.
Do we get extra credit?
Yeah, you need it. All right.
Like 0.00 -1.
You'll get that point back. All right. Evan, are we good? We got this worksheet in front of us? Okay. So this is the triangle inequality theorem. All right. Someone developed this, and then it was proven to be right all the time. Then it became a theorem. Not all triangles are possible to construct. If I give you a triangle that measures 2, 4, and 7, you can't create it because there's a theorem. If you take the two smaller numbers of a triangle and add them, it has to be bigger than your longest side. Okay? If I add the two smallest numbers in a triangle, it has to be bigger, the sum has to be bigger than your longest side to be a triangle. So, state if the three numbers can be the measures of sides of a triangle. Can I build this triangle, but I don't have a protractor or a compass to use, right? A compass, I need a compass. Okay, what are my two smallest sides? So if I add 5 plus 4, it has to be bigger than the longest side. So it has to be greater than. So if I add the two smallest sides, it has to be bigger than the longest side. The sum does. So what's 5 plus 4?
9.
Is 9 greater than 7?
Yes.
So these three numbers can be a triangle. Yes, we can make a triangle using the numbers 5, 4, and 7. I've seen this question. Yes.
Can we write a check mark?
Sure. Okay, number 2. What are the two smallest sides? So we add the two smallest sides. It's pretty easy. So let's sit up, pay attention, because it's pretty easy. 2 plus 3, those are the two smallest sides, right? It has to be greater than the longest side. Which is the longest side? 6. So 2 plus 3 is 5 greater than 6. So can I construct this triangle? No, it would be a triangle where the sides wouldn't meet. Do you guys remember doing that exercise and then that? So this would be another example where it wouldn't cross. Let's do it. No, I'm just kidding. Do you guys see how it's pretty easy? It's pretty. All right, let's do number 3 and then you're on your own. What are my two smallest sides? So you add the two smallest sides and you see if it's greater than the longest side. What's 2 plus 4?
6.
Whoops. 6. Is 6 greater than 5, which is your longest side?
Yes.
So you just put yes. That's it. Let me see if, oh gosh. Okay. Let me try to find it. Oh, that's Pythagorean theorem. That's for the sides, not for the. Yeah, I get it. Okay. Number 4. This is given 3 sides. If you're not given 1, then you would use the Pythagorean theorem. All right. Number 4. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Number 5.
Yes.
6.
Yes.
7.
Yes.